Today we've got a question about the best structure for a multi-service local business. Looking at the services that are being offered, patio covers, stamp fences, gates, etc. Looks like some sort of landscaping contractor. The question is, do they shove all of those services into one campaign or make a separate campaign for each service? So the top answer, I think, is wrong. Not necessarily because the advice is wrong, but the advice is too early. If you take a look over here, this is a brand new account, they never advertised Google before, and they're wanting to just get going, just get any leads. So this person has suggested a branded search campaign, a competitor campaign, product service keyword campaign, and some retargeting. This is too much for a business that hasn't yet proved it. For a start, if it's a local business with not a lot of offline advertising to generate that, you'll get very, very few brand searches. So obviously, if you're only going to spend $10 a day, but is it worth the effort of setting that up? No, I don't think so. The competitors campaign, again, later on, this might be worth doing, but generally competitor campaigns trigger searches, and you end up paying for clicks from people who are looking for your competitors, not people who hate your competitors and who are looking for an alternative to them. In the retargeting, I think, again, that's quite complex for a very early stage account. But the product or service keyword campaign makes sense. We've got a couple of other people who are saying similar things. I think this answer is probably the best one. Is I'd stick to one campaign to start with, because that makes sense. If you've got a very low budget, focus it in one area and get the most from that. And once you've got that one campaign working, you can then roll out what's working and copy what's working and expand that. But I probably wouldn't start with targeting specifically searches for things like patio covers, concrete fences, gates, etc. Let me explain. I've got a landscaping contractor as a client, and this is what I'm saying is based on my experience on that. So when somebody is searching for something like this, a stamped concrete pathway or driveway or patio cover or fence or gate or whatever, there are two kinds of searches. The first kind is where they're problem aware. I want a patio cover. I want a stamped concrete pathway or whatever it is. But these people are not yet aware of how they want to solve that problem. And there are a huge number of different ways that they could do that. For a patio cover, they could go down to a big box hardware store, buy their own and do a DIY thing. Those searches are often a little bit early in the buying process. You don't get as many of them turning into leads. Later on in the buying process, some of these people will have decided that I'm looking for a patio cover contractor or a landscaper contractor. These people are searching for the solution. They know they've got the problem. They're missing they want a patio or a patio cover. And now they're starting to choose a solution. They're no longer deciding between DIY. They're now looking for somebody who will do that. And those kinds of searches tend to turn into good inquiries and into sales more easily.